The film opened with Will and Samantha at a prenatal sonogram appointment. This scene immediately established their loving relationship and Samantha's pregnancy. The atmosphere was intimate and hopeful. They shared smiles and excited glances as they watched the sonogram screen. Will wants to get married with her girlfriend, but for this he has to get permission from her father. This was not easy because Samantha's dad was an army officer and very strict. The narrative shifted to Will arriving in Chicago to visit Samantha's father, Tom. He checked into a hotel and prepared for dinner. Samantha's mother welcomed Will very happily, but Samantha's father showed him a strange behavior. The visual tone started to shift, with a sense of underlying tension. Then Will and Tom met for dinner. This scene was crucial for establishing the strained dynamic between them. Will told Samantha's parents that he wanted to buy a house for Samantha, to which Tom replied there was no need to buy a house for her. Tom further said that Will just wanted to keep their daughter away from their parents, and Tom would not let him to do that. This conversation destroyed Will's mood. Tom was very reserved, stoic, and somewhat dismissive of Will. There was a clear lack of warmth in their interaction. Will tried to be polite and engaging, but Tom's behavior created a sense of unease. On the next morning, Samantha called him, and he answered. They told each other they loved each other. Will said he was worried about dinner with Tom, and Samantha tried to calm him down. While they talked, strange things started to happen. The lights in Will's room flickered. A low rumbling sound could be heard. Suddenly, the phone signal got bad and the call disconnected, and Will was very worried. He tried to call back again and again, but there was no signal. His phone said, "No service." Will looked out the window. He saw a faint light in the sky, and he felt very uneasy. He knew something was wrong. He picked up his bag and decided to go to Samantha, but when he reached at the airport, he saw all the flights have been canceled. So he returned to Samantha's father's house, where he saw that her father, Tom, was also worried about Samantha. Tom could not wait for the flights to open to go to Samantha. So he decided to go to Samantha by road and asked Will whether he wanted to go with him or not. Will had no other option, so he decided to go with Tom. So they left for a long journey on the way, and it was shown that the city was in very bad state. There were traffic jam everywhere. People were roaming around and there was rush at gas stations. People were fighting with each other to get their necessities. At this time, Will was filling gas in the car. Some goons came and threatened him for some money. But then Samantha's father came out of the car like a hero and scared them all with a gun and pushed them away. The journey continued again, and here Will asked Samantha's father that why he carried this gun with him all the time, to which Tom replied that if he did not had that gun with him, the goons would have looted everything by now. On the way they saw, Army has closed the roads ahead, but because Samantha's father was also an Army officer, so he came out of the car and talked to all the Army officers and took his car ahead. It was night while going, and their destination was very far. They faced so many problems during their journey, as there was a psycho patient in police car was following Tom and Will. They came out of the car to check him. That psycho man was going to shoot and killed them, but they both get back in the car to save their lives. Tom was driving car at high speed to move away, but that man was still following their car. To distract the man, Tom kept the car in the middle of the road and changed their route. Now they had gone a little far that some deer came in front of their car. So in order to save them, their car's balance got damaged. Their car hit a tree and they had a bad accident. Because of accident, their car had stopped and that madman came after them again. Will was in the car at this time. He points a gun at Will and was about to shoot him that suddenly Samantha's father came from behind and pushed him away. He was beating the madman a lot and gave him a good lesson and throws him away after beating him. But while fighting, Tom's ribs were also fractured. They joined their damaged car with the police's car and bring it to the garage, where a mechanic who was a woman asked a lot of money to fix their car. In this difficult time, they had no choice but to listen to this mechanic. Then the mechanic fixed their car, and here they get to know that the mechanic also wanted to go that city where they were going. Now Samantha's father was also afraid that his car might get damaged on the way. so he was thinking to take mechanic with them. Now these three continued their journey. After going a little ahead, a full-speed car came and hit their car, by which their car got imbalanced and turned upside down. Will gets off the car and checked that everyone in the other car has been killed. Actually, these were running away from the robbers. Those robbers were now reaching the Will's car. Will was driving car at high speed in order to get rid of the robbers. While going ahead, they noticed that the clouds were thundering strangely in the sky. Clouds had made a strange shape, and the heavy rain was started. They could not even drive their car due to the heavy rain. So they stopped under the bridge and was waiting for the rain to stop. Today was their third day on the journey. The weather was too bad in the night, and when it was morning, the heat was increasing severely. They do not know what was happening to the weather. Now they also needed to eat and drink, so they stopped their car at the store and bought some things, and again started their journey. When they were going ahead, they saw that there was a fire in the fields, and it was probably because of the heat. A strange destruction, because of which the world was destroying. Near those fire fields, they saw a girl who was asking for help. As soon as Will was getting out of his car to help her, but then he came to know that was a trap set by the robbers. The robbers had now snatched all the gas from their car, and all the necessary things from their car. As without fuel and food, they would not have been alive, so they need to do something. Will and Samantha's father decided to follow the robbers and fights with them. So three of them were making a plan and following their car speedily, where the mechanic girl burst the looters' car's tires with the gun. As soon as the tires burst, their car got imbalanced and overturned. All the people in the car were killed. Fuel was also coming out of the car very quickly, and there was a huge fire nearby. As soon as they get their things back and went towards their car, the car behind them was blasted. The sound of the blast made them scared, but they were thankful for being saved. Samantha's father and Will were normal, but the mechanic was getting very sad and depressed as you. She was feeling that she was responsible of everyone's death. She asked to stop the car near the park. Her condition was getting worse. Will was trying to relax her, but she asked Will to give her some time. So what else Will do? So he left her and came in the car. Little later, Will and Tom were sleeping. As soon as they wake up in the next morning, they do not find a mechanic girl. They did not know where she went. As they did not have enough time to find the mechanic, so they move ahead. On the way, they saw that a train also had an accident due to the destruction. Will goes out of the car in order to get some necessities. Meanwhile, Tom's health gets worse as his ribs were broken because of fighting with that mad man. After watching the bad condition of Tom, Will came to him and gives him a painkiller to calm him down. But Tom was well aware of that he would not be able to live for long. At this time, he asked Will to promise him that he will take care of his daughter forever. Tom was saying this to Will because during this trip, Tom realized that Will was a good person. Tom was thinking that he will not only take care of his daughter, but also be a good father of his child. Hearing all this from Samantha's father, Will was overjoyed. They happily moved forward, but the troubles were also going with them, as there was a bike gang who attacked them. To escape from them, they did not have a way, so Will came out of the car to explain them their situation, but Tom asked him to sit in the car and drive car forward. There was a truck parked beside them, so Samantha's father shoot the truck from behind after getting the chance. The truck got blasted and catches the fire. This is how they got rid of the bike gang. Finally, they moved forward, but Will did not know that was the last trouble which he was facing with Samantha's father because he was dead. He was very sad when he found out. He was sad, but he kept driving. But after some time, Will's car broke down after going little ahead. He did not want to leave Tom's dead body in the car, so he sets his car on fire, though he does not want to. It was the 5th day of their journey, but he could not reach his destination, that is to meet Samantha. On his way, he found a car. He asked for a lift. They came out of the car with the gun as if they think Will was a robber, but Will was asking for the help. So the car owner took Will's gun and gave him a lift. Will's parents' house was nearby, so he brought this family to his parents' house. he allowed them to stay there on the condition that they will give their car to him. They agreed, and Will again tried to reach Samantha with their car. Finally, he reached his city, where he saw all the cars and people are dead. The whole city was destroyed, and buildings were damaged. He reached his apartment and saw all the buildings were destroyed. Samantha wrote Am address and the note that, "Come and find me," on the door of the apartment. Will decided to go to the address mentioned to find Samantha, where a boy came out with a gun as soon as he reached there, who was also scared of robbers. Before they talked, Samantha ran from behind and hugs Will. They were very happy to see each other alive. Finally, after facing so many difficulties, suffering so much and sacrificing a lot, Will was very tired as he returned from the long, tiring journey, so he goes to sleep. Then he wakes up with an earthquake and comes out afraid. He saw colorful and shiny clouds in the sky. He asked Samantha and that neighbor, "What has happened in this city that everything was destroyed, even the environment?" So that neighbor replied that everything was pre-planned as the American forces have blasted here, and this all was happening because of its reaction. Will did not believe this, because this destruction was possible once with a bomb, because it was not possible to have earthquakes and storms again and again. In their argument, neighbor's mood was getting bad, and he got angry at Will. So he took Will to the dense forest next day. His intentions were not good. He wants to kill Will, so that he can kill Will and get Samantha. He told Will that he liked Samantha, but he came between them. After hearing this, Will got angry on him and shoots the neighbor with the gun. Suddenly, he noticed that a huge volcano erupted from behind. That fire lava was going to bring a lot of destruction, so he put Samantha into carto, save her from destruction. They were running away to save themselves from the destruction, but the destruction caused by volcano was also following them. They don't know if they will be able to save themselves from the destruction. No one knows about the future, but the good thing is that they both were together. They saw each other with great love and kissed. The volcano roared, a final, earth-shattering bellow. By showing all this destruction, the movie ends by leaving the audience suspended in the uncertainty of their future.